Front Seat Live podcast happily presents my year of Healing the Hustle podcast, where I, Jessica Butts, psychotherapist, 2.5-time author, corporate trainer, and Myers-Briggs expert, share my raw, vulnerable, honest, and in the moment experiences of my journey to heal the hustle. I recently put my money where my mouth was, and I sold everything I owned and moved to Maui with 5 suitcases to explore this healing island. What has come up is a mountain of real life healing the hustle experiences I hope you can see yourself in, so you can also heal your hustle while still being unapologetically who you are. Let's get started. Welcome back, everybody, to the Healing the Hustle series on the Front Seat Life podcast. This is your host, Jessica Butts. And today is yet another doozy. I am naming this Bossy, Controlling, Overthinking. Oh my. I've really gone back and forth with the title on this. I was just going to name it Overthinking, but then I realized it's not just that for us J women, for us controlling, domineering, bossy, controlling, overthinking women, hence the name of this episode. So this is a fun project because I get to, again, be very observant. I am an extremely observant person. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's just sit and people watch. It's absolutely why I love being a therapist. I always feel very voyeuristic in looking into people's lives. But of course, the good news is I'm also really, really, really good at observing things and putting patterns together. So part of this process for me each week is observing what's going on with me. So as you know, I am doing this in the moment, really on the fly. So these are not like pre-recorded months ahead of time. I'm doing a whole bunch of other podcasts right now. In fact, I had one just this morning and it was awesome. We had a great time. I will be excited to share it with you. But I said, when will it air? And she's looking at her schedule and she's like, the end of August. And I internally laughed because I am doing these on Tuesday and that they go live on Thursdays. So let me just say that as well. Thank you for those of you who have messaged me wondering where the hell the podcast was on Tuesdays. In full transparency, because again, this is what I'm doing. I'm rolling with the punches. I'm being as transparent, authentic, and open as I can, even though it does make me want to throw up a little bit. Each week, I never listen to my episodes. I have not listened to any of my 91 episodes prior to these, and I've listened to the last 2 because I'm so nervous what I'm saying, because they're so freaking in the moment, vulnerable. And so that's what's up. That's why, just again, I'm keeping it real. That's why we moved them to Thursdays, because I, in the moment, here doing all of this and dictating on my phone and observing other people and observing myself and watching each of these elements of personality type and healing the hustle. I'm watching it unfold in myself and in others. So I most certainly can't be doing a recording 2 months ago and then having it go live. Hence why I can't write the book, right? This is the whole point of bringing the podcast back and pausing writing, is because it's so not planned out. It's not final. So let me just start by saying that. Thank you. Thank you for everybody having a little bit of patience. That's what's up. That is why we are doing it on Thursdays. So I have 7 bullet points that I want to talk to you about today about the bossy, controlling, overthinking, oh my. But I do want to start, like that was a pre-start, is I do want to thank everybody. I have gotten, it's so terrible when you cry on a podcast because then you sniffle. I have actually, my first ever Front Seat Life event was thing that I've gotten the most positive feedback from. Even my first book, I've gotten more positive feedback about that event, which was, I think, in 2017, maybe even 2016. But this to date, this revive of the podcast is actually now the thing that I have gotten the most positive feedback about than anything I've done. And it is not surprising, as we're about to jump into talking about overthinking, that it's also the most imperfect thing I've ever done. So I am going to start with a bit of a story as I am thanking you for all of the messages. I have a confession. Oh, this is going to piss some podcasters off for sure. I am sitting in my adorable condo in Maui, speaking into my 8-year-old laptop at the moment. My podcast equipment, like I'm using air quotes, like I never had a ton of equipment anyway. But when I moved here 3 months ago, I did not think that I was going to be doing the podcast. So I just didn't bring my equipment with me. And I bought a new speaker, a very inexpensive speaker off of Amazon, because I'm also trying to not buy new shit. Like, I'm not into accumulating more things after I sold and gave away literally everything I own. So I'm not looking to like re-up all this crap. So I ordered a speaker or a microphone. I keep saying speaker, microphone, and it doesn't work. I thought it was working. This is the irony. I thought it was working. And this morning I tested it by whispering into it. Nope, it's not working. It's not working. It is, it's my computer. So I am currently doing this very imperfect podcast, speaking into my old AF. I don't even know what kind of this is. I'm looking at it, like trying to figure out I don't even know what kind of laptop this is. Maybe a Dell. It is at least 8 years old. At least. I remember this is how I track years, is by who I was dating. Does anybody else do that? I know when my divorce was. That's so easy because I was 40 when I left my marriage. And then I track everything from then based on two things: when my books came out and who I was dating at the time. And I was dating somebody not great at the time when I bought this, and that was at least 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago. So super duper unimportant side story, but that is what's up. So I'm going to start with the overthinking, the third of the bossy controlling overthinking. And I have plenty other stories about overthinking, for crying out loud, but I could have overthought this. Ladies, I could have overthought this and just never have done it because I don't have the right equipment, or this isn't working, or I'm sitting in my place in Maui and you might even be able to hear the birds. I don't know. But if I had overthought it, I would have never started. This wouldn't be the best thing I've done since I started doing this shit 11 years ago. Interestingly enough, today is the 11-year anniversary of me graduating from graduate school too, when I completely started my life over. So today is, I've already outed myself. It's 2 days before this goes live. So it's the summer solstice. Happy summer solstice, everybody. It's 6/21. And I graduated apparently on this day 11 years ago. I did not know that. So again, I already told you that this is resonating more than anything, and it's insanely imperfect. You can hear me breathing. You can hear me sniffling. James, my podcast producer, and I joke all the time about why I clear my throat incessantly. Like, I know I don't do that on other things because I'm on video all the time. I'm a speaker, for God's sake. So I know I don't do that. For whatever reason, I hit play on this and I just am a throat clearer. So It's just hopefully perfectly imperfect. But again, the point is I would have overthought this and it would have never come out. So of course, this isn't all about me. It's about you. Where in your life are you overthinking things and holding yourself back from putting out whatever? If this is for entrepreneurs, if this is for just women in general, like all the things that we do. Oh, I can't go to the Pilates class because I still have a muffin top. I mean, let's get real. We've all done that. Don't lie. I have absolutely like, oh, I'm not ready for yoga yet because I have a freaking muffin top. So I got to get rid of the muffin top before I go do yoga? That is the stupidest thinking ever, but this is what we do. We overthink things. Okay, so I'm going to move on. Number 2, I want to also talk about the update on dating myself. The episode from last week, I got a ton of feedback and questions and inquiries and, a lot of feedback. It is going incredibly well. I have transitioned into a new phase of being here after 3 months. So I'm going to jump into that now. I had so many expectations of what I wanted this to be. And hence why I wasn't self-soothing and wasn't dating myself. So this is a rough transition, I realized, but stick with me. The expectations I put on myself to boss this situation around, to control it, and to overthink it quite literally almost ruined me being here. So my sister is my best friend, and she and I Marco Polo at least 20 times a day. Maybe. And she is telling me about this book called Chatter, which I've obviously ordered. And this is for hustly women. And this is for, the podcast I did earlier this morning. We talked about, like, how did we all get here? And we got here because of the patriarchy. We got here because of a lack of safety, which I will talk about in a little bit. We got here because we are supposed to do all the things. We got here because of comparison. We got here because of social media and TikTok. And you're supposed to be, the smartest, most amazing thing ever, plus the perfect body, plus the perfect mother, plus the perfect, it never ends for women. It never ends. I envy men so much when they just get out of the shower and fix their hair and that. It would be odd. And there's a lot of women who do that. God bless you. I am not one of them, but man, I wish there was times that I was like that. So the expectations of when I moved here, and again, these are all so embarrassing, but I, of course, thought I am one of the most extroverted people I know. I'm super outgoing. I would say I'm pretty charismatic. Making friends has never been a problem for me. So I just thought I'm going to do all the things when I move here. I am going to build multiple communities. So I immediately went to church, and then my third Sunday, they were praying for gay people. And I was like, oh, fuck no. So obviously I have not gone back there. So that community went away. I went to pickleball, which I still play pickleball, but I've gotten over the expectation that this is going to be some sort of community because at least 50% of the people there are actually tourists. It's a very, very transient place. Maui is just a transient place. It's very interesting. I've never lived in a tourist city or a tourist. We can't call this a city, a tourist place. I've always lived in either San Diego. I was born there, or in Seattle, Washington. And so I've never lived a place like this. And so I just assumed I would come and shake this place up and build a community at church and build a community of pickleball and build a community of entrepreneurial women, which, there's not a lot of. And I really had this expectation that I was just going to fall madly, deeply in love with my soulmate. Like this was going to be it. We were just going to do it on the beach and just have this life. Well, again, I am probably one of the most impatient people in the history of the world. I'm just incredibly impatient, and that is part of my bossy and controlling and overthinking. So the expectations of coming here and overthinking it and bossing the situation around, bossing around kind of people and thoughts and expectations. It was my way or the highway. Let's just get real. It's my way or the motherfucking highway. And I have observed, this is back to where I started this 16 minutes ago, is part of my observation is observing myself, but also observing other women. And I come from very strong women. And I watch my mom do this. Eric, I love you. I watched my sister do this. I watch my friends do this. And we are ruining our lives. We're ruining our lives. That has always been a thing. It's one of the reasons I moved here is the infinity symbol of the last dichotomy of Myers-Briggs, which is the J and the P. And it is the ultimate practice for us women that are also in this very hustle culture. So naturally and innately as a reminder that we J's are very controlling, like to know what's going on, ambitious, go-getter, overachieving, awesome women. But the hustle culture has also added to that. So this is the nature and the nurture reason for healing the hustle and learning. And again, why I'm here, not learning, why I am here practicing this is because there's a saying that depression is living in the past, anxiety and that chatter in our head and the bossy and the controlling and the overthinking is living in the future. And everyone's goal, which is so much easier said than done, is to live in the moment. And by cutting out some of the chaos that's been going on in my life with the dating, hence dating myself, and cutting out some of that chatter, as well as letting some things unfold as they need to unfold. And you can hear like the tears in my voice because I witness this in myself. I observe it in others, how much we possibly even ruin things in our life, such as this amazing dream that I have had for so many years to live here. And I almost ruined it. I still don't know if it's going to be forever. I will say that. But what I do know is I want to enjoy every single second that I'm here. Because this is a huge dream. And I actually know for a fact that wherever I end up, and maybe it will be here, wherever I end up, I will look back on this time and wish that I would have been as present as humanly possible. That I wouldn't have tried to boss it around. That I wouldn't have tried to control it. And I most certainly wouldn't have tried to overthink it. And there's so many places in our lives as these strong, dominant, J, ambitious women where there's chatter, back to that book that my sister recommended, I'll let you know how it is, that we are ruining what could be. I am going to keep it super real. Gosh dang it. I never know how like super real I'm going to keep it, but this is like everything, is there's also a potential relationship in my life, not by dating, but something from my past. And my need to control it, to analyze it, to overthink it, to manage it to death could ruin something awesome. I don't know if it's going to be, I'll be honest. I don't know. But what I do know is that the chatter, the controlling, the bossy, the overthinking, the I gotta make this my way or the MF highway, that it's my way or the highway. That shit has got to stop. That shit has got to stop. We are ruining potential amazing things in our lives, potential friendships, potential business opportunities, potential dates, potential moves, potential in the moment. All of this stuff that we are trying to over control, over manage, overthink, and it's going to ruin our lives. You all know that this is why I have this one and only tattoo on my arm of B, is to remind myself that I've got to chill out some. I need to pick my battles. I need to not control every aspect of my life, which also means that I'm controlling other people. I am controlling other things and other people when that is none of my business. If I want somebody to love me for who I am, I better do the same for other things and people, right? If we want to be accepted for who we are, then we got to do that for other people. But that J in us wants everything the way that we want it when we want it. I mean, can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? We controlling women want what we want when we want it right now in the package that we want it in. And that is not how life works. And we are then cutting off Maui, for God's sake. I'm looking out my window. I mean, I'm ruining this amazing thing in my life because I'm over analyzing it. I'm trying to build a community and fall madly in love and make it all these things when it's just trying to show me what it could be. It's trying to show me the possibilities. But I'm missing that because I've got my J blinders on that are like, get the fuck out of my way and let me manage and control this and overthink it and try to figure it out. Let me say, you guys know that I am talking with you, not at you, right? Because I do not have this figured out. I do not. I am in the middle of it. I am in this journey with you. That's what's up. So I am not even pretending for 1 minute that I have it figured out. However, I do have a tool for you in just a second. So a couple more points here. Number 6 on my list. So this is something that I have definitely learned and observed, and one of the best tools I have with couples. I loved working with couples in person. I have found that it's pretty challenging over Zoom, unfortunately. One of these days I may have an in-person retreat in Maui for couples, but currently they're just for women, or those who identify as women. So number 6, when things feel out of control. I also learned this in Al-Anon, by the way, being married to an addict. When things feel out of control, we, domineering, ambitious women, try to manage and control other things and other people. I'm going to say that again. When we feel unsafe or out of control, we try to manage other things or other people. This is straight from Codependency No More. This is my visual of that book, which is the Bossy Leaper. So there's 2 people in any relationship. This could just be with Maui and I. So let's just use that as an example. I'm on one side of the net. Maui's on the other side of the net of a tennis court analogy. And when I feel unsafe, it's going to get me teared up. When I feel unsafe because I moved across an ocean by myself, I am not in a relationship, I don't have a community here, I, of course, then try to manage and control something else in my life because I can't, these are things I can't control. So I try to control Maui. I try to control the community. I tried, again, getting on Tinder, and oh my God, I get hit on way more just out and about than I do on Tinder. Yeah, my energy here is off the charts. I don't know what it is, but I get all kinds of, I don't need to do that is the point. I don't need to get on a freaking dating app. I get whistled at or asked out or picked up on or whatever multiple times a day here. So there is this need to want to control when something feels unsafe. So for the men possibly listening, or maybe women, you pass this to your men for heterosexual relationships. This goes for homosexual relationships too. But when somebody in a relationship, again, my relationship with Maui, or your intimate relationship, when someone feels unsafe, part of our hustle culture, part of the patriarchy, part of a learned behavior. This is a learned behavior. When things feel out of control, we will try to manage and control something else. This is why people have eating disorders, is because something in their life is out of control, and this is the thing that they manage and control obsessively. This is also people who, have eating disorders or working out a ton, all kinds of, addiction issues. This is what they try to control. So I just want to acknowledge that is part of the reason that we do this. Like, this isn't fun. Can I get an amen? This isn't fun. I do not want to be a controlling, overthinking, bossy woman. I don't. One, I was born this way. This is innateness. I was born this way. It served me very well. It makes me very successful. I'm very organized. It's great. And as I've mentioned in other podcasts, it's also ruining my freaking love life because I'm such a controlling bitch sometimes. But we don't want to be this way. No one wants to be this way. We want to be flowy and go with the flow and whatever. And so we've got to acknowledge this. Like, this is part of why I'm here, just spending so much time by myself, processing this. I believe now that this is why I'm here, is because I'm supposed to be sharing all of these lessons for the majority of the women that feel this way. Because this is a learned behavior. When shit feels out of control, this is when we hyper manage stuff. And no, we don't want to be this way. It's not fun at all. So now let's talk a little bit about a bit of a solution to this, and then I will let you go for today. I was actually sharing this with a client, and it was a great conversation to have with him, where he is in his life right now, but also a reminder of where I was and where I am right now, is that our bodies freak out when we're somewhere we've never been before. Like, we don't have any supporting data. We don't have any supporting evidence. We don't have anything to lean on or to look back on because we've never been here. And so I've had that multiple times in my life because I'm a leaper. I don't look back. I move forward. I just do shit sometimes without really thinking about it. Obviously leaving a marriage of 20 years and going to graduate school and starting a practice, writing, books, and now. Like, I've never been here before. I've never been without community. I've never lived across an ocean. I've never felt super keeping it real. Never felt this uncomfortable and lonely in a way. Again, somebody asked me who my emergency contact was, and I was like, fuck you. I never thought about that until you asked me, and now I'm sad. Like, I don't know who that is, but this is who I am. I am just a leaper. I don't I just don't overthink things. I just do it and then I figure it out when I get there. Life is reversible. Again, this is why I've never had kids, because I was so scared that I was going to regret it, and I can't give it back. I can't put it back in my uterus. I'm not going to give it away. So like, it's the only irreversible decision. Where was I going with this? Oh, right. Never been there before feeling. So this client of mine is single for the first time in 20 years. And he is so uncomfortable. He is just so uncomfortable. And so we had this great conversation about numbing, right? At lots of numbing techniques. So this isn't this time when we get to this place of not wanting to be bossy and controlling and overthinking, but we want to be more in the moment. We want to be more we want to be more go with the flow. Oh, so hard for us. We want to let Maui show itself to us versus trying to make it what I want and need it to be, right? This is so controlling. It's so funny. I'm probably going to meet the love of my life later today. Because it's so funny. Once you start acknowledging this is when the universe is like, oh, honey, thank you for accepting what is, and now here is your blessing. So stay tuned on that. But the numbings. So there's porn, there's shopping, there's drinking, there's drugs, there's overbusying, there's so many. Overeating, right? There's binge watching TV for hours on a time. TikTok is totally numbing. There's so many right now, which is part of why it's so hard to be in the moment, because there's so many external things going on. And then the other side of that, so no numbing, but also no chaos. And this is what last week's episode was about dating myself, is realizing that I got here and I was like poking the bear. Like my central nervous system was used to chaos. And so as I'm telling my wonderful client, who I adore, and also telling myself in the same story, is that we've never been here before. We don't have any data. We don't have any information to help us through it. So what do we got to do? We got to push through it. We got to be in it. My friend Nadia, who I love so much, she is such a great teacher about this. So great about this. Nadia Ahrens, look her up. She talks to me a lot about, she's also a psychotherapist, about this is part of the process, right? This is how you get to the next level, is you just sit in it. You sit in the uncomfortableness. I did a lot of that this weekend, of just paying attention to how this feels, to be self-soothing, and to realize that my bossy and controlling and overthinking ways are ruining two amazing possibilities in my life right now. And that I don't want to numb it, for sure. I'm not really a number. That's certainly some people's, but mine is over busy or over chaos or over boss it around or over control it, right? These are two different personality types. P's are better at kind of the numbing, and then the J's, we just build chaos. So that is not a super easy tool, my friends. I know some of you want like the dot, you want like do 1, 2, and 3. I have a lot of clients like that right now. They're like, tell me all the things, like give me the ways. Unfortunately, this way is not numbing and not seeking chaos and sitting in it. Being in a new way of being. Because that is the goal, is evolution, growing, and a new way of being. We are not meant to be static people. We are not meant to not grow. I've told the story of when I lived in my house in Kenmore of my wonderful neighbor. He lived across the street, and I watched that guy do the same exact thing every day and every weekend for the 3 years I lived there. It was unbelievable to me. that is not evolving. That is not growing. But that is also not my listener. So you are not, I know I'm not talking to you because you're literally not here. We are the people that want a new way of being. We want to be our best selves. We want to be the best version of ourselves for ourselves and for others. We want to grow. Someone actually challenged me on that the other day. They were like, I don't think people do self-work unless it's like for a trigger. I'm like, I disagree. I think there are people like me and like many of you listening, and maybe the trigger is just simply uncomfortability. Maybe it's, oh my God, I'm witnessing that I'm a hot mess and I don't want to be this way. So how can I do something different or be a different way, and going into a new way of being? Okay, my friends, I am done. I hope this was helpful. As I started with a huge thank you, I want to end with a huge thank you and also an invitation. I am inviting you to join me on your Healing the Hustle journey. It's this summer. It is going to be from July 11th to the end of August. It is currently open and it will close on my birthday on July 7th, because why not? It is one-on-one coaching with me. I think you guys know I'm really good at this. We all have our gifts. I am a really, really, really good therapist. It's just one of my gifts. I hear things that people say that they don't hear in themselves, normally in session 1. So we get going really fast. So it's sessions with me. It's 8 weeks together in a group with content, community, tools, resources, and weekly assignments. And here's the good news. This is Healing the Hustle. Do it however you want to do it. Do it all in, do it 50%, do it however you want to do it. But this is a once a year offering. It's summer school. If you have been wanting to work together, this is the opportunity. Again, it closes in, I don't know, when's my birthday? In 2 weeks. Wow, in 2 weeks. So you've got 2 weeks from the date of this airing until July 7th. The link is in the show notes. It's also the link on my Instagram, which is Healing the Hustle. I will also send it out to my email list. And I want this because I know I want this for you. I want this for you. I'm sorry. Let me finish my sentence, because I know that we're all in this together right now. All of us women. There's so many of us that are feeling this in different ways, and I would be honored to spend the summer with you. And then, of course, I will open up spots for one-on-one therapy after that. I'm full at the moment, but after that, the people that are in summer school will get first dibs at that. There's also one spot available for the retreat. It's literally meant for the person that's going to come, because I filled the rest of it. I don't even think I advertised it. It was just current clients, but there's one spot, and I'm really excited to see who that person is. So just DM me on Instagram or send me an email at jessicabuttscounseling@gmail.com, or go to jessicabutts.com. There's also a way to contact me there. But if this stuff is resonating and you're ready to take the next step, I'm here for you. All right. I'll see you next week. It's going to be another doozy next week. I am going to be talking about a little more actually about what I've shared about the mistake that I made. The mistake that I made thinking what Maui was going to be, and that it's completely different than what I thought it was going to be. So, whole episode on that. I will see you next week. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. My guess is if you made it all the way to the end of this episode, then this content is resonating with you. If you want to dig in deeper, have one-on-one coaching with me, and learn more and do lots and lots of awesome exercises, I am opening up summer school. So we are opening up right away As of now, you can go sign up at jessicabutts.com. Go find Summer School under the Healing the Hustle tab, and we are going to have an incredible summer together. It is a private group, a very, very small group, very tiny group, because I don't have a lot of availability, but it's going to be a small, intimate group. We are going to be off of Facebook into Mighty Networks. It is 8 weeks of group coaching. It's going to be new content, live calls, accountability, connection, no cheerleading, no bullshit, inspiration, real content, and weekly tasks to help you heal your hustle. In addition, there's 3 private 50-minute sessions with me. And the reason that I do this is because in our private sessions, we get to take the group content and make it so much more applicable so that we're not wasting time in our one-on-one sessions. You get to hear the content and then we get to dig in deep, do a real deep dive therapy session into your traumas, your family of origin, the things that are important to you to help you heal your hustle. It's real women, real connections, no bullshit, just genuine, authentic engagement and education with me. So go pop over into jessicabutts.com. You can sign up now. We start the week of July 11th, and we will be going until the end of August. It will be a summer of transformation. It will be a summer of connection. It will be a summer of crying like I am already doing, and it will be life transformative for you. I can't wait to see you there. I can't wait to play with you, and I will see you on the inside.